So, yeah, I was flipping through Galatians.
Want to start already?
What do you mean? Oh, hi, brothers and sisters. Welcome.
Hi.
We're in a defunct mood.
Defunct.
We think something needs to be defunct. And we want to bring it to you all so you have the same defunct understanding. Okay, so I was going through Galatians and I came to Galatians 12. And it says that at that time, that's funny.
It's what?
That at that time,
Yeah.
you were without Mashiach. This is Lou White's version I'm reading, the BYNB. Excluded from the citizenship of Yisrael and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no expectation and without Yahuah in the world. So it's talking about people that weren't in Yahuah, as he calls it. So what do you think about that first? Strangers from the covenants of promise. He's put an S on covenants there. This is his interpretation.
I wondered why I was confused. I didn't get a thing of it. Can't look at it. You know, look at it, something. I can't understand what you're talking about.
We'll read what it says.
Yeah.
That's the King James.
What is it? Galatians.
That, at that time.
Read from 11.
Read from 11. Wherefore remember. Therefore remember that you, being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that. Yes.
Who are called the uncircumcision. It's got here.
Yeah.
Does it say the?
Just says called uncircumcision.
All right, good.
In other words, Gentiles. By that which is called the circumcision in the flesh. Made by
Jews.
Yeah, so you're called uncircumcised by those who are circumcised.
Yeah.
You're called Gentiles by those who are Jews.
Yeah.
That at that time you were without Messiah, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
So I wonder what the King James says, because it says here you're excluded from the citizenship of Yisrael.
Citizenship of Yisrael and commonwealth of Israel. Same thing.
It's not.
Okay.
You be in there.
Citizenship, commonwealth.
You were separate from.
Well, no, because
Citizenship.
the Commonwealth is a group of nations. That's a Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Is a group of nations.
Yeah.
Not just one nation.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore that's incorrect.
Yeah.
A citizenship gives you citizenship of a particular country, not of a people.
Yeah.
Are you comparing the citizenship and commonwealth word, or are you comparing the Israel word?
Yisrael
Thought
and
so.
Israel.
Thought so.
And then it says, and strangers
From the covenants of promise.
from the covenants of promise.
Having no hope and without Alahim in the world.
Having no hope, expectation, and without Yahuah in the world.
Right, I should say Alahim. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's taken his interpretation from there to here. So I wanted to find out what's the difference between Israel and Yisrael. Here it says Yisrael, yeah.
Well, in the Hebrew it is Yisrael. If you look up the word Israel, you'll get.
Well, can you look
Sure.
up Strong's? Just look
I
up.
can't do it on mine.
Just look up
Yeah.
Yisrael. What it says, Yisrael.
Yisrael or Yashrael was
Yisrael.
was. It says Yisrael because this is a Christian thing, Yisrael, but the actual pronunciation is Yisrael. Israel.
What have you put it in?
I just typed in Israel and it comes up with
Oh, we mean
Yisrael.
in the Hebrew
No.
lexicon.
Hebrew lexicon.
Yeah, we'll just type Yisrael in there.
Oh, okay. We don't have to get anything. Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Y
No entries.
Y-I-S-H.
That's it.
Y-I-S-H. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yish, there's nothing.
What does that mean?
Means that it doesn't recognise it. Because this is a Christianised lexicon. And it doesn't recognise any Hebrew, like that sort of thing. So, what's your conclusion, mate?
So
What conspiracy is going on?
we're looking at Yisrael and Israel.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So type in what is.
Who is Yisrael?
You sure who is or what is? Yeah, who is.
Type
Who
it
is
into-
Yisrael?
Type it into what?
Just Google.
Just Google.
Google.
Should have got the laptop.
Interesting what you said about the nations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Google. What was the question?
Who is
Yisrael?
Yisrael?
Who is Yisrael?
Yep.
And the first thing that comes up is Lou.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What does the word Israel mean in fossilised custom? I assume that's what you printed out.
No, it was further down.
It's
I printed
another-
out.
What does the word Israel mean? Behaviour evolution. We've got a couple there.
And that's from Yisrael. Okay.
That's from Yisrael Fossilised Customs.
Yeah.
Yisrael is a nation of priests whose purpose is to teach the rest of the nations the Torah of Yahuah. But the best this nation has done thus far is preserve, and that's where it cuts off. I have to go onto the site to find the rest.
Where's the one that you got that said Yisrael is a group of people, not a nation?
The word Yisrael is the term Yahusha called.
Yeah, that's good. Read that. That's good.
Oh, that's what you wrote.
This is cool. All these pictures down here are mine. This is encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never, I don't go onto Google.
Oh, you know.
Never look up myself.
There you are.
There are more pictures. Under Yisrael, Yahusha.
So what do you say about Yisrael and Israel?
What do I say? I just say that
In the King James, what you've got there, calls Israel, calls it Israel,
well,
all the way through.
during these
Never
trans-
mentions.
never mentioned.
So when they interpreted this,
They took all the Hebrewness out.
mm,
They put Lord, they put God, they
yeah,
took all the Hebrew names, took all the Hebrew.
the time
I don't
they
know what time.
the interpreters
I don't know.
did it, they called it Israel
Yeah.
right through.
Yeah, they
So
did.
they had no
Yeah.
knowledge of
Yisrael.
Well, they did. They changed it on purpose to make themselves the chosen people.
But in the scripture before, where would they get their interpretation from? Catholics?
Oh, this is not my area.
Yeah.
I don't know where they would have got it from. That's
Yeah.
Lou's area.
But they had no knowledge of Yisrael because it wasn't mentioned.
It'd have been they'd
Yisrael.
been mixed in.
It was always Israel.
Mm.
So from the King James Version on, the education is that it's Israel. They don't mention Yisrael.
Mm. And they don't say that it was once Yisrael and then now it's Israel. They just say it was Israel from the beginning. Jacob's son
that's
was
the
Israel.
mindset they've sown
Jacob was
throughout society
Yeah.
from back then.
Mm.
No Yisrael.
Mm.
Then Lou comes along with Yisrael.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So let's go into this.
Yeah.
You can all read it bit by bit as much as you want and just take your time. Read it all.
It just says, if you were asking me before, the word Yisrael refers to a people.
Yeah.
So he explains that. It refers to a people.
The word Yisrael
Yeah.
refers to a people, not a nation like Israel.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I
Not
agree.
the country.
Oh,
Oh,
What happened?
let there be light.
There's 3 different degrees of light in that.
Oh, do they just come and go?
No, they shouldn't.
Sit on the remote or something?
Maybe a gecko got in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but the 12 tribes were called a nation. I know it's not the nation today, though. But they were
Well,
called
no
a
one
nation.
in society would look at Yisrael
No.
as a group of people.
No.
They call it.
Israel.
They call it
That's
Israel. Yeah.
So,
So
it
that's
is a
what they're
country
looking
now.
at.
Mm. Yeah.
So there's a separation,
Mm.
isn't there?
Mm.
It's not a nation,
Yeah.
it's a group of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yisrael.
definitely.
Yep.
Let's see what this group of people becomes.
𝗪𝗓𝗓 Yisrael. Google any words you find foreign to you. The followers of Yahusha of Nazareth. These are those he has chosen and written his Torah on their hearts.
So who are they?
That's
Nazareth.
from
Nazareth.
Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Scripture doesn't mention Nazareth Yisrael.
No,
No.
it just says branches of scripture.
This is made up. See?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yahusha is the real name of Yisrael's Mashiach, undefiled by the Greek language. His name is not all those letters there,
Mhm.
or Jesus.
Mhm.
Read Revelation 14, which describes the first fruits, and ask yourself,
The first fruits. Keep that in mind.
Mm.
It's interesting how it's interpreted.
which group are you a member of in Yahuah's eyes?
Right.
Well, no one. Yahuah's gone.
We don't want to be a member of any of them.
Exactly.
Group 1.
Oh, okay, we've got options. There's group 1, there's group 2,
Well, let's go through it.
and there's group...
We want to
Yeah.
look at the mindset that's been presented.
Yeah.
Because the mindset from the King James was Israel, not split into Yisrael.
Mm. Yeah.
See what happens.
Mm.
Remember that and see what happens as we go through it.
Yeah. So which group are you a member of in Yahuah's eyes? Group 1,
Not too fast.
too fast. 𝗪𝗓𝗓. This is group 1. 𝗪𝗓𝗓, who obey the commandments of Alahim and hold to the testimony of Yahusha.
So who is Alahim?
Alahim.
Yahusha.
Yahusha is Alahim.
So what are they saying there?
There's 2.
Let's do it
There's
again.
2. Exactly.
Nazareth, who obey the what?
Commandments.
Commandments of Alahim.
Mm.
And,
10 commandments, he's saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we want to look at that.
Mm.
He's bringing the old
Mm.
where it should be Yahusha's commandments.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They only hold testimony to Yahusha.
Mm.
They don't say he's Alahim.
No.
Right?
No.
That's interesting.
Mm.
They don't just believe the word, they do the word.
Mm.
So how can you do the word without the Spirit?
Mm.
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
They think you get the Spirit when you come out of the water.
This is who we're looking at,
The
And
natural.
Nazareth.
and this is what they believe.
Yeah.
It should be the new commandments,
Yeah.
not the old commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you saw what I wrote about that today,
Mm.
what do you think of them?
The
Yeah.
food from the table.
Yeah.
The maggots.
The maggots. Dead old carcass.
And the demon servants.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
There are those who are born in the covenant,
Yeah.
the Torah,
So who's that?
Jews.
That would be
Hebrews,
Israel, wouldn't
Jews. Yeah.
it? That would be Israel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yet they don't believe that Yahusha is the Messiah, Mashiach.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
These are usually called Jews by modern terminology. As long as they observe the covenant, they are Yisrael.
The covenant what? The
Ten
old,
Commandments.
The old covenant.
not the new covenant.
No.
They refused. So who are they actually refusing?
Yahusha.
He's always on the sidelines.
Yeah.
They give him a plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't hold to the testimony of Yahusha, so they are not first fruits.
So remember I asked you to remember about first fruits?
Yeah.
Who's described as first fruits? Above the top, read
The
Revelation
Nazarene.
14.
That's right.
So he's declaring the Nazarene following the Old Testament, which Yahusha fulfilled, are declared as the first fruits. So everyone that joins him are first fruits.
First fruits. First in line. Wow.
Well, there's only one first fruits right now,
Yeah,
and that's Yahusha.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't believe in him and that he is Alahim, they can't be first fruits.
Well, what are you gathering just from those few lines we've read?
That
What
they's
am
confused.
Yes.
They is confused.
They
They
is
is.
confused.
They
They
is
is.
very confused.
They is. It's very confusing, isn't it?
Yep.
Is it the truth when it's a confusion?
No.
It's a puzzlement.
Puzzlement.
The king and I. It's a puzzlement, he said.
It's okay.
Yeah.
People will claim these to be Judaizers and legalists, but so be it.
Did you miss something?
Yeah.
Might have.
But
Right.
because of the covenant, they are Yisrael.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But because of the covenant, they are Yisrael. The first fruits.
Because of the old covenant, not the new. He became the first fruit. What are we?
Following him.
We're the first fruit.
We're the first fruits.
That's right.
Into the
So it's
first
a bit
Yeah, absolutely.
QF, isn't it?
It's totally skewed.
Yeah.
So people will claim these to be Judaizers and legalists, but so be it. Those who guard the Shabbat were condemned at the Council of Laodicea. Yahusha warned us to pray that your flight not be in winter or on a Shabbat, when his pupils asked him about the signs of his return in the last days.
So what do you get out of that?
Oh,
It's out of context a bit.
totally.
People will claim these to be Judaizers and legalists.
Yeah.
They are.
Claim what?
That keeping the commandments as writ, the old covenant, and not seeing where it went, you'll be called a Judaizer and a legalist. How does he know that? Because
Yeah.
that's what they all call him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
When
What's
he
going
says-
on?
So be it.
So be it.
When he says people will claim these, he's talking about the Nazarene.
Of which he's the head of.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those who guard the Sabbath were condemned at the Council of Laodicea. Well, those people sound like they had it together a bit. Because we're not doing the Sabbaths.
No.
We're not doing. He's the final rest.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all that.
No.
Eat at the table of the house of the dead. This is all the old that he said is passing away.
Yeah.
Lose, bringing it back in to control everybody and bring them under the 10 Commandments instead of the two.
The two royal laws.
Yeah. And Yahusha broke it all down to make it easy for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he making it?
Very
Total.
confusing.
Yeah.
Laborious and confusing. And when his followers get accused of all these things, he's teaching them how to cover their bases,
Yeah.
cover
But-
their tracks.
But it's a lie, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Yahusha gave a new covenant
Yeah.
with 2 commands.
Yeah.
Broke down all the 10. He said the old covenant is dead and fading.
Yeah.
It's dying. Back then,
Yeah.
new was what they should be looking at. So Lou's brought the 10 Commandments back and the feasts back. It's spreading right throughout Christianity now. They're all taking it on.
Oh, yeah. They all want his books. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to eat at the house of the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's group 1, the Nazarene.
Yeah.
Then we've got group 2, There are those who believe they hold to the testament of Yahusha, but admittedly don't observe or do or perform the commandments of Yahuah.
So what's he
Covenant
doing
or the
there?
Torah.
What's he pushing there?
He's
The Ten
pushing
Commandments
the Ten
again.
Commandments, yeah.
Instead of the real
Yeah.
new covenant
Yeah.
commandments. Too.
Yeah.
He's pushing the old.
Mm.
What a deceit. Bringing back the old dead stuff to burden people. And he's usually coming at it in an intellectual thing, but to me it just sounds like an idiot. It's just so screwed up. It's not the pure, real truth.
No, it's
You know?
not. No.
Yeah? These are those. Group 2.
These are those who believe they hold to the testament of Yahusha, but admittedly don't observe or do or perform the commandments of Yahuah,
See?
the covenant or the Torah.
He's pushing that all the time. Covenant or Torah. The old.
Yeah.
They feel.
They feel that simply believing is all that is necessary. Anything beyond that is attempting to save themselves. Well, that's a very Christian mindset.
Yeah.
Just believe, just have faith and you'll be saved.
We know today you've got to believe in Yahusha as Alahim and go in.
Yeah.
Follow him. Got to
Yeah.
go in. It's a
Yeah.
spiritual war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He doesn't even know this. Wouldn't even contemplate it because he's pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. They are also taught that the old covenant and the commandments were done away with or nailed to the cross, and that the Jews, the
That
Yahudim,
only Jews.
and that only Jews, Yahudim, one of the 12 tribes of Israel, only Jews have to obey the covenant, the 10 commandments. Again, very Christian.
Yeah.
Don't believe that either. He's coming up with Christians there, obviously.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
wants
they
to
believe.
convert them. He wants to
Yeah.
bring them under his teaching, bringing back the old legal ways, you know, making them follow the Torah
Yeah.
so they're not free. They're in bondage,
Yeah.
aren't they? Going the way of the 10 Commandments and the Torah.
Mm.
It's all been fulfilled.
Yeah. Totally. They are trained to think they are spiritual Israel through their belief in Yahusha.
Yeah.
Because of this, they are victims of replacement theology. And we can see clearly that this group is not the first fruits spoken of at Revelation 14 either.
What a declaration.
Yeah.
Who's he running down there?
Christians.
And who came first in his groups? Group 1, Group 2?
Oh, he did. Nasrim came first.
Yeah.
And he says they're the first fruits.
Yeah.
They haven't gone through the vein.
No.
They haven't had the baptism of spirit and fire.
No.
It's just men talking
Yeah.
and interpreting through intellectualism, his own intellect. It's a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trained to think it's spiritual Israel. Doesn't like that. But most...
Well, are they trained to think it's spiritual Yisrael? How many Christians know Yisrael?
No,
They don't.
No.
Yeah.
They just know Israel. Spiritual Israel.
He's bringing his terms in all the time.
Yeah.
His mindset, his
Yeah.
doctrine. This
Yeah.
is way back, this thing.
Yeah.
This is what they really believe about everyone around them.
Yeah. But most dangerously, because they don't observe the covenant,
So there, look at this.
they are not Yisrael.
Who wants to be Yisrael? We don't.
No. And therefore they are not in any covenant relationship with Yahuah in any way, although they are taught that they are.
So why do we want to be in a covenant with Yahuah only?
Well, because he teaches that Alahim only ever made a covenant with one group of people and only ever will, and that's Yisrael. So therefore, if you're not in Yisrael, so to answer
So
your
who
question,
knows
why would
about-
we want to be in Yisrael? That's why
Wouldn't.
he's saying,
Yeah.
yeah,
You wouldn't
Just
want
bypassing Yahusha
yeah,
and his.
yeah,
I bring a new command.
and Yahuah.
yeah, the
Yahuah.
new covenant. too.
Yahuah only. Where's Yahuah?
Oh,
He turned into a butterfly.
yeah,
Yeah.
butterfly. That's it. They don't obey
The
the
commandments.
commandments of Alahim, therefore they cannot be Yisrael. Ephesians 2 explains that we become citizens of Yisrael through the covenant, and Yahusha is the mediator of it, writing it upon our hearts. This group must continue to believe in Yahusha and are grafted into the commonwealth of Yisrael by observing the commandments of Yahuah as he wrote them. It's just like a commentary on the ink of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the ink on the page is all about Father and Son mediator between man and the Father. You know, it's all just explaining the ink. It's not understanding
Yeah.
the journey.
No.
Ephesians 2 explains that we become citizens of Yisrael through the covenant.
Mm.
Do you want to be a what? Citizen of Yisrael? You can only come through the old covenant.
Mm.
No.
Where's the deliverance?
But that's only a people.
Yeah.
12
You can't be a citizen of a people. There's his first mistake.
12 tribes.
You can be a citizen of a nation, but you can't be a citizen of a people.
Well, I'm sure King Solomon considered himself a nation.
Yeah, that we become citizens of Yisrael. Yisrael is earthly or not to this?
Say again?
It's
Is
earthly. It's
Yisrael an earthly
physical
thing
place.
through the covenant? You can't. Yeah, is Yisrael? You can't become a citizen of Yisrael through the covenant. A citizen of Yisrael. Is he saying Yisrael's up there?
No, he's
No.
saying it's a 12 tribe nation.
He's saying it's a
Ephesians,
commonwealth.
that's your knowledge.
Mm.
Ephesians 2 explains that we become citizens of Yisrael. Right?
I mean, what's
Through the covenant.
Yeah.
You can only become a citizen of Yisrael through the covenant.
Mm.
Where's Yisrael there? Where's he saying Yisrael is?
In the covenant.
Yeah. Through the covenant.
Mm.
You've got to accept the covenant and the ways of the Jews.
Yeah.
The feasts and
Oh, yeah.
traditions. You've got to accept all that
Yeah.
before you can become a citizen
Citizen
of
of
Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Who's Yisrael?
First fruit. Who's Israel?
Is it?
I don't know.
Is Yisrael the first fruits?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Israel was the divorced
Yeah.
people.
Divorced whorebag. Yeah.
So
Yeah. They won't tell you that, will they?
that's a null and void contract.
Mm.
A covenant is a contract and it's null and void.
It's dead.
Mm.
So they're making citizens
Of dead.
of a
Of
dead
dead people.
covenant.
Of something that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Eh?
I see dead people.
It's the
You
sixth
see
sense.
what?
I'm just being silly.
I see dead people, he said.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
And Yahusha is the mediator of it.
Mm.
So you think Yahusha is the mediator of Yisrael and
No.
the old covenant, or did he
No.
come to fulfill that covenant?
He did fulfill
He
it.
came
Yeah.
and he fulfilled it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're
Exactly.
bringing up the dead stuff, the old stuff.
Always.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So then we have group 3.
No, we're writing it upon our hearts. This group must continue to believe in
Yahusha.
Completely
Does that make
confusing.
sense?
That's completely
No.
because he's mentioned Yahuah before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yahusha is just the mediator.
He's Confucius.
He's jumping to the Yahuwah's commandments and testimony of Yahusha. He's jumping between the two all the time.
Mhm.
It's complete confusion.
This group must continue to believe in Yahusha and are grafted into the commonwealth of Yisrael by observing the commandments of Yahuah as he wrote.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No, no,
Um,
Not at all.
no.
So you've got to observe the old commandments and the Sabbaths and the feasts before you can be grafted into
Yeshua.
I'm glad I don't want to be grafted into Yeshua, aren't you?
No. Grafted into Yahusha.
That's it.
Yeah.
And what are they doing with Yahusha in this?
Just bypassing,
barely
putting
even
him
mentioned.
aside.
Okay, Therese, you move to the next one, group 3.
Group 3. Those who obey the commands of Alahim and hold to the testimony of Yahusha are the first fruits.
What does that mean? The commands of Alahim, the commands of Yahuah. That's what he's saying. Those who obey the commandments of Yahuah and hold to the testimony of Yahusha.
You can't do both.
We can't have both.
You can't.
There's
No.
only one.
Well, you can do both because by doing Yahusha's commands, you're doing
Well,
the other ones.
yeah,
So you have to do Yahusha's ones in order to fulfill the other ones.
yeah.
But you're only holding the testimony. It's not mentioned.
You have to look at his audience. Those who obey
I
the...
don't care about his audience. I just care about what he's
We
written.
just
I know.
wanted to
Man,
Look
focus.
what he's written. He's saying you can't be... It's not the Jews because they only do the Old Testament. And it's not the Christians because they only do the New Testament. You've got to do both. The commandments and the testimony. And so his new religion of naturalness is the best.
Goes,
'Cause he does the
takes
old
it
and the new.
all in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
does he do the new?
Doesn't do the new.
No.
Doesn't
No.
mention it.
No.
So it's a lie.
No.
It's just lying.
Right.
Deceiving people, confusing people.
Yeah.
Mm.
Totally.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're called the first fruits and are called Natsrim, watchmen, branches, or Natsrim Yeshua. Foreigners are formerly Gentiles in the flesh, but when they believe and obey, they become citizens of Yeshua. They are no longer Gentiles.
No prejudice.
Seriously?
Yeah, go on, what do you want to say? Those who obey the commandments of Alahim and hold to the testimony of Yahusha are the first fruits. So you've got to do the Old Testament and,
The New Testament.
well, he's not saying that.
No.
Hold to the testimony.
Testimony. So it's only
So Yahusha testified
his
that
testimony.
Yahuah is there.
Mm.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
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 And are the first fruits, and are called Natsrim, watchmen, branches, or Natsrim is Yeshua. Natsrim Yeshua.
A new version of Yisrael.
This is the mindset he's putting forth to everybody today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foreigners are formerly Gentiles in the flesh, but when they believe and obey, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Believe and obey.
Yeah.
They become citizens of Yeshua. They are no longer Gentiles. So this is the way in, he's saying. All you have to do is believe and obey. No repentance there. No deliverance there. No reality.
I think this next part's a cracker.
Okay, let's go on.
The covenant is a marriage between Yahusha and Yeshua, his
Yahuah.
bride. Sorry,
Yahuah.
Yahuah
Yeah.
and Yeshua, his bride. And Natsrim Yeshua, a.k.a.
There's three there.
Yahuah and Yeshua,
And his bride.
his bride,
Yahuah and Yeshua,
his
his
bride.
bride. So
Yisrael's the bride.
his are the two.
Mm.
Yahuah and Yeshua are his bride, and then there's Natsrim Yeshua. Aka Nazarene Yeshua. Yeah, go on, Therese.
represents the first fruits of a great harvest.
Isn't he hung up on the first fruits?
Yeshua is the only bona fide group named in Scripture denomination and the Natsrim are an elect group within Yisrael, as they are called by Yahusha as workers in his harvest of mankind.
That sounds like Yisrael's got a whole body of people, but Natsrim are a special elect group in the
That's what he says later on.
Yeah, okay, keep going.
They are a treasured possession. Those names are written in special scrolls called the Scrolls of Remembrance.
Only by joining my little group of branches. That's all.
Yeah. Yep.
The name of the Creator and the symbol of his Torah are on the banner below.
I bet they are.
A prophesied reality taking place on Earth's
In the earth.
peas. What's that?
Psalms.
Oh,
Psalms 20.
right.
Just a reference.
Oh, I chopped it off. That's why I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yahusha removed his menorah lampstand from the first assembly in Ephesus. It has been restored to Natsrim Yisrael today. Really? The menorah is a symbol of the Torah, and it also is the most widely known symbol of Yisrael. The Torah and Yisrael are inseparable.
Oh, he's sucking up to the Jews, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Where's Yahusha's royal commands?
No.
There.
Not
Oh,
even
not
mentioned.
even
Not
there.
even a.
Nothing.
Fruits of righteousness, nowhere. It's all old, cracked up, dead.
What do you think now when you look at this?
It's an elite group. You've got to go his
Yeah.
way, do the
That's
old
right.
covenant feasts,
That's right.
all the
And forget about
trappings
the new covenant.
and doesn't get a show, doesn't
Yeah.
get a look in.
Yeah.
Yahusha came, but he was just, you know,
How could you write such obnoxious things and declare such wickedness? And what's he doing to everybody else? What chance? No wonder people don't want to know about all this. The reputation they give the truth. Go on, Therese, the next bit.
Oh. Extra small.
sorry.
The Creator designed the menorah. It is not of this earth.
Oh, please.
The design was shown to Moses. Like, you can use English names.
Yeah, he can't.
That's sacrilege.
Who are these people?
Who are these people called Yisrael by the world? The world doesn't call them Yisrael,
No.
first and foremost. So
That just
I
is
think
that one.
I think you're delusional.
Yes.
Put in the simplest possible terms, Yisrael is any being that observes the Torah of Yahuah.
So where's Yahusha?
No.
Not even mentioned.
Yeah. You've got to go back to the old covenant and
Yeah.
observe that.
Yeah.
You've got to go back to the old covenant to deserve that if you want to be in the bride, the elite group.
Yeah.
How?
It's
What do
very.
you think, Mark?
I don't
I think you've lost
anything.
Mark.
How
Way back.
obnoxious.
Lost me a page ago.
No, I didn't.
I'm
He's cut
seeing,
down.
I'm seeing red.
Well, that's all right.
I've been wrestling with this guy for years. I don't care about any of it.
Yeah, but we're looking at what he's saying now.
It's completely
Who
Because
is
what he's pushing,
Israel?
Yeah.
Who
and
is-
it's growing. It's going through Christianity,
Yeah.
the old covenant. It's going everywhere.
And all the
Global.
new channels are just regurgitating it all. He's filling them all with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
We're just chipping
incorporating.
away at the little
And the
statue.
Jews are doing it, and Christians are taking their own versions of it
Yeah.
and bringing it into their congregations,
Mm.
bringing back the old, dead,
Mm.
useless covenant.
Because, like we experienced coming out of Christianity, this seems exciting because it's got authentic Hebrew roots to it, and people who come out of dead Judaism go, "Oh wow, there's a Messiah, so this is real to them too." So it's really standing at the door, ripping all these vulnerable people off from both camps, saying this is real. It's a bit of old and a bit of new, and it's exciting, and it's Yahuah and Yahusha, and it's a complete. There's no deliverance.
That's right.
I'm angry.
Mark loves to explain things, and he says he's angry now. What are you angry at?
Because it's really hard. No, because it makes me feel.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you ever feel like this, but it makes me feel hopeless. Just with my little chipping away at this skyscraper.
Why would you feel?
Look at me, I'm trying to chip
why
away.
would you feel hopeless?
Because thousands and thousands of people listen to this trash.
But it's written to make you feel.
Hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never get there.
I'm not stopping. I'm just saying how.
You're never going to sit on the right hand of Lou's throne, are you? He wouldn't have it,
I
would
sat
he?
there for a while. It stunk.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have it, did he?
No,
You had to bow down
any
to
suggestions I had weren't really listened to. No.
it. So that's why I prefer you guys to be free,
Yeah.
to open your minds to look at these things. You have an experience with Lou for many years, and you can say, I didn't know this was really going on.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of this. I was just in awe.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you gave your heart to him,
Yeah.
and you see what happened.
Yeah.
But now when you go over it and see what he's actually saying,
Yeah.
bringing the old to replace the new. The new is Yahusha.
Mm.
The old is Yahuah. He's a Yahuah only worshipper.
Mm.
He worships Yahuah only, mentions Yahusha,
Mm.
but it's not as important. The same as the Jews who want to have their own way of worship, which is a mixture.
Mm.
And Lou's coming into the mixture, and he's wanting to worship Yahuah.
Mm. So
Hey.
true. This is the real replacement theology.
Reckon?
Yeah.
It's replacing Yahusha.
That's
Yes.
Mm.
it. So now you're
Totally.
thinking.
Mm.
Yeah, go
Doesn't
on.
get a mention.
It is not so much a religion, but rather a relationship.
Where are you up to? Where?
Yeah, where are we up to?
Just
Oh,
here.
lots to. Just under the Torah of
Oh,
Yahuah, which is
You went
underlined.
past that, didn't you?
I already read that.
Yeah.
It is not so much a religion, but rather a relationship. The sign of this covenant is the Shabbat,
Here we go.
to rest from work, buying and selling, or travelling on the seventh day of each week.
We've done
The
that.
eternal covenant is everlasting.
Is it?
No,
because they broke
Why?
the
Because
covenant.
they
Broke it.
broke the covenant. They wouldn't stop their whoring and their mixture of
Worship.
swill and depravity and
Yeah.
worship and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Yahuah said, I'm done.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was everlasting from his side.
Yeah, but
But it
they
broke
broke
it.
it,
They
so
broke
it's
it.
not for them.
Yeah.
Broke it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For
And
something
people are believing this crap.
for
Yeah.
something to be everlasting, it needs to be abide by
Both
every
parties.
single
Mm.
person who signs up for it.
You mean the first fruit branches of the Nazareth?
Yeah, them.
Can I be one of those?
Hell no.
How would you like to be caught up in this? From your experience of Yahusha now, what sort of freedom and deliverance is in this?
This is just complete
It's really
dead.
Yeah.
This is not so much a religion. Well, yeah, it is. Because that's what they were pushing. Their religious mindset on everybody, and that's exactly what he's pushing in this.
The old covenant.
A religious mindset.
Mm.
As you said, this is replace the true replacement
Yeah.
theology.
Mm.
Replacing.
Yahusha.
That's why I wanted to talk about it with the brothers and sisters,
Mm.
so they can see
Mm.
what's being pushed towards them. taking all their liberty and freedom and love. Oh, I can't stand it. Yeah, go on, Darren.
This is an area where foreigners, as well as Israelites, are both more than a little skewed in their thinking.
He ought to talk.
Hey, Pot, my name's Lou.
Yeah.
You're black.
Yeah, well, the primary test to evaluate a person being of Yisrael has been misplaced, causing people to think there is some group of individuals who are automatically Yisrael determined by their bloodlines. People are looking for bloodlines, but there is much more to it, as we see at Isaiah 56.
What do you think of that, Marky? What's said there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You must think something.
Move along.
Why?
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to say.
If a
old
person
boilerplate.
discharges themselves from obeying the Torah, is that where we are?
That's where we're up to now.
Yeah.
Yep.
10 Commandments,
Yeah.
covenant, push, push, push.
Yeah.
They are no longer.
Yisrael.
But we don't discharge from obeying them. We believe that Yahusha summarised them. Everything is
Fulfilled
summarised
them.
into
Yeah.
two royal laws.
Yeah.
So it's all
Well,
love. It's all about love.
It's funny because if you actually read it, if a person discharges themselves from obeying the Torah, covenant 10 declarations, they are no longer Yisrael. They cut themselves.
Cut off.
They're cut off from their people, Yisrael. Well, guess what?
Yisrael. Yeah.
Guess what?
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 It's simple.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of
I
my seat.
prefer to be cut off from Yisrael because they've already been cut off
Yeah.
by Yahuah
Cut
Yeah.
off from the cut off people.
many centuries ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, why would I want to be grafted into a people that no longer exists anyway?
Yeah.
This is all old covenant terminology. It's all old covenant mindset.
So what does that mean
It
to
means
us?
if you disobey
This
the-
is all old covenant.
if you disobey the
What's it
Torah,
mean?
you were cut off. You were taken out and stoned. So if you disobey the 10
So he's
commandments,
putting it into.
it's Old Testament
Putting
it
into-
context. Yeah,
And what's the context?
Trying to make it.
the way he's explaining it is like he's living 5,000 years ago. If you
Yeah.
say the 10 commandments aren't real,
But what's
you're
he
cut
doing?
off.
The thread. What's he doing?
Oh, I've lost track of the thread.
Back to Yisrael.
It's trying
It's
to make
all
it.
about
This is
Yisrael.
what we should do today. He's trying to make
Absolutely.
it, bringing it up to today,
Absolutely.
trying to drag it all into today,
Totally. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not talking about Yahusha's.
It's already been spewed out the back end of the black hole.
All the tribes that were once Yisrael.
Yeah.
All the tribes that were once Yisrael were dispersed into the nations.
Another doctrine.
The 10 tribes of northern Yisrael, Samaria, or House of Yisrael, were carried away into captivity by Assyria in 722
BCE.
BC.
Oi. Be me.
Before Messianic era,
Yeah.
never to return.
Never to return until the last days. About 136 years later, the south tribes of Yehudah were taken to Babel.
Well, that's just history.
Well, that's true there. We'll
Yeah.
agree with that.
But why did they get taken there?
Because of
Because they
their
were
idolatry.
divorced.
That's right. Mixture of
Yeah.
worship. He
Yeah.
wasn't going to have
They
it.
were captured.
Yeah.
Roughly 10% of these returned as a remnant, and about 90% of these were permanently assimilated into the nations of the world.
90% of them. Yeah.
Just as Amos 9:9 tells us. The regathering of the house of Yisrael
Regathering.
and the house of Yehudah
Jews.
was promised at Jeremiah chapter 3 and 31. Now they're all old, the Old Testament,
Text, yeah.
and many other texts, but hardly understood. It's happened, and it's happening now in these last days. Ezekiel 37 and is that one? Jeremiah 3 describes it very well, as does Ephesians 3 and Acts 15. If you read Isaiah 56, you'll find that when a foreigner who is not of Yisrael joins to Yahuah through the Torah, they are Yisrael.
So what are we supposed to be joining if a foreigner comes in?
A tribe.
Eh?
A tribe.
No.
Yisrael.
Sure.
Who are we supposed to be joining to?
Yahuah.
No.
You're talking about
Now,
how we believe or what he believes?
If you read Yeshua, you'll find that when a foreigner who is not of Yisrael, Israel,
Joins to Yahuah.
joins to
Yahuah.
But Yahuah's not there anymore.
through the Torah,
Mm.
covenant birth,
Yeah.
they are Yisrael.
Yeah.
So you,
Well, we're joining to Yahuah.
Mhm.
Who's missing?
Yahusha.
Not even mentioned.
No, it's all old tribe stuff.
Yeah.
If you came along to one of the camps and wanted to be part of Yisrael, you just join the tribe that you were, whoever your friend, family, you join their tribe. Renounce your idols and join their tribe. Do the 10 Commandments, you're in. It's all
So
old.
oh,
you've
here
got to
comes
go and worship who?
Yahuah.
Yahuah.
Yeah.
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 Through the Torah.
And he's bringing that in today,
Yeah.
leaving and excluding.
Yahusha's right out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
10 declarations / commandments
If you
Ah.
didn't know.
the covenant.
Of that covenant.
Without this, there is no fellowship with Yahuah,
Yahuah.
nor with Yisrael.
Yeah, that's good. We don't want either.
That's it. People think they can disqualify whoever they want,
Well, he's disqualified Yahusha.
but they have no authority to determine. I'm just waiting for the plane. But they have no authority to determine who is going to obey the covenant. That's why it's so dangerous to listen to people who teach that Gentiles don't have to observe certain commandments, such as the Shabbat day. It's not their Shabbat, it's Yahuwah's Shabbat. It's the sign of the everlasting covenant.
Everlasting. So who's the owner of the Shabbat?
Yahusha.
Yahusha. And
According to him, it's Yahuwah.
he stated that when he was walking the earth, that he was the master of the Shabbat.
They've covered that too.
So-
They've covered their tracks.
Or have they?
They
Not
just
to
get
me.
rid of Yahusha the whole time.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is good. Go on.
Yisrael is the bride or wife of Yahuwah. Past tense, Yisrael was the bride or wife
Yeah.
of Yahuwah.
Yeah.
Past tense.
That's his old wife.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the hurl.
The
That's
ex.
the whole bag.
Watch
Yeah.
out for the X, man.
That's the whole bag.
Yeah.
That X's.
And those who are.
And those who are Yisrael keep the covenant of Yahuwah, because of this covenant, they are a nation of priests.
Yeah. That's a Hebrew word. Go on.
The observance of the Torah or covenant determines who is Yisrael, and those who do not observe it are not Yisrael. If you stop observing Torah, you are no longer Yisrael. But if a stranger down the street begins to observe the Torah, then they become Yisrael, even if they were formerly a
Circumambulating
snake tail rattling, moon, whatever.
Circumambulating, snail rattling.
Moon dancing witch doctor.
Yeah, he can talk.
Alright, I had enough of reading now.
You're on next time.
The 10 declarations of Yahuah are to be taught to all the nations through the priesthood of Yisrael. The 10 declarations, the 10 commandments of Yahuah are to be taught to all the nations through the priesthood of Yisrael. This is ridiculous.
I haven't heard the word love in this article at all yet.
No. Yisrael is a nation of priests whose purpose is to teach the rest of the nations the Torah of Yahuah.
Well,
but the best...
Before you continue, the nation of the priests that he is talking about is the Levitical priesthood.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nothing at all to do with the Melchizedek priesthood, which is of Yahusha.
Well said.
So you
go, girl.
You've just completely bypassed.
Yep.
Yahusha said he doesn't exist, basically, and written him off.
That's it.
I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure he was the one hanging on the torture stake, not Yahuah.
Yeah.
And what's he written in? Written Yahuah off.
Yeah.
Yahusha off.
Yep.
And what's he written in?
Yahuah's there, and so's the nation of Yisrael. Well, I didn't see Yisrael hanging on the torture stake, did you?
No. Yeah.
But the best this nation has done thus far is preserve the Torah.
I haven't even done that.
They are just now beginning to understand the mission. Those who return to the covenant are Yisrael, regardless of their bloodlines. Yeshayahu 56 explains that the covenant with the sign of the Sabbath will determine everything. No foreigner who keeps Yahuah's covenant will remain a foreigner, but will be counted among Yahuah's people, Yisrael.
Well, where's deliverance? Where's the way out?
You just go and start doing the Sabbath and the feasts, and you're right. You join the club.
That's right.
You do all the... It's the same as all the trappings and doctrines of any denomination.
So whoever reads this is going to be totally confused if they haven't... They're not in Yahusha. If they haven't got his spirit, they're going to be totally confused, aren't they?
Yep.
Run around the garden.
And then they'll need him to explain it to them.
Well, he hasn't got time.
Not when he's writing crap like this.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I say that? Oops.
All right. That's your opinion. You go on, Dave.
The sign of the Sabbath will determine everything. No foreigner who keeps Yahuah's covenant will remain a foreigner, but will be counted among Yahuah's people, Yisrael. In fact, a foreigner that begins to study and keep Yahuah's covenant is no longer a foreigner, but they become fellow citizens in the commonwealth of Yisrael.
Yeah.
So says Ephesians 2.
Yisrael's taking the bride, taking the place of the bride.
Yeah.
Totally.
If
so
we are
she's coming out of exile to take the place of the bride.
Yeah.
Under the old covenant, which is dead and been fulfilled, over and done with.
Yeah. That ex-wife, mate. Look out for her.
Well, why do you think he left?
Yeah.
Left her to her own worship. Yeah, go on.
If we are constantly trying to figure out who is Yisrael by some other means than who is obeying the 10 commandments, we'll be perpetually confused. Thank you.
We're already confused if we took this in.
Yeah.
It's Yahusha's work to regather his lost sheep and identify them. We could not possibly do it. If a person is called to the covenant, they are Yisrael, with or without any man's approval of it being so. The calling of Yisrael must not be
Yahusha.
The calling of Yahusha, must not be brought into question. Right.
Go on.
The covenant determines who is Yisrael, not a person's father or mother.
These two
houses of Yisrael are described in the parable of the prodigal son.
Here we go.
2 sons represent the 2 houses. One left the covenant while the other did not. The returning son is the parable. In the parable represents the lost tribes, all of them returning to the covenant in the last days. I don't believe that.
If the son didn't leave the covenant, then why did he get divorced? If one son was so obedient, why did he get divorced and kicked out of the house?
Exactly.
Go on, keep going. We'll just go through
The
this.
bread in the Father's house is the covenant. The 10 declarations. The famine of Yahuwah's word was prophesied. The bread we live by is Torah. We cannot have life without the covenant. We must be fed. We must feed the nations with it. We are the priests of Yisrael and preserve the knowledge of the covenant and teach it to all nations. I'll go on.
Yeah, we've got to push through a bit.
Where is it?
If a
If a being from outside the earth came to live with us and kept the covenant, that would
We've only got one more page to
that
go.
being would be of Yisrael too. So if we've got an alien that comes, it's not about who we are or where we come from. It's only about our relationship to Yahuwah through his Torah, the covenant.
Where's Yahusha?
He left the building ages
The
ago.
whole new covenant, New Testament, Gospels, all that is just not even considered.
Do you think this is wicked? Put this out?
absolutely,
Yeah.
I do.
I think
Absolutely.
it's wicked to read it.
I think it's wicked because I knew what my mind was when I used to believe it.
Yeah.
I was mad.
Yeah.
But you didn't know all this in your memory.
Yeah, I was mad.
Look at he's going to have it.
Yep.
I remember
Just
you.
to teach it. I was mad. Made videos about it.
Nazarene Yisrael is a special group within Yisrael. There's got a special group there.
He's the remnant.
With Yahusha, they are the first fruits.
Yeah.
With Yahusha. Yahusha gets a mention.
These seek to obey the commandments of Alahim and hold the testimony of Yahusha. That's
Well, if they're
that
following
confusion
Yahuwah,
again.
how can they be following Yahusha?
They can't. And are very few relative to the population of the world. Read Revelation 14, which describes the first fruits. And ask yourself if you obey the commandments of Alahim and
See, you've got
hold
to do the old covenant.
to the testimony of Yahusha.
Where's the liberty and freedom and
No.
love and
No,
freshness of
it's all
Yahusha?
very strict.
it's just a
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to do this. You got to
that's it.
follow the commandments.
Well, you're not coming under that, are you, Darling?
no.
Yisrael's primary objective is to obey the covenant or 10 declarations and teach these instructions to the rest of the mankind so there will be knowledge of the true creator Yahuwah. Yisrael is the wife or bride, Hebrew Asher, or of Yahuwah. And the 10 declarations represent the covenant between Yahuwah and Yisrael.
What do you think of that, Mark?
Oh, don't.
This makes the declaration.
What am I up to?
Here, this makes the declaration a marriage between
What is that?
them.
Yeah.
This covenant is referred to as Torah, a Hebrew word meaning instruction.
Mm.
Okay, Mark, you can take us to the end.
Oh, there's
Well,
still
that
like
is
another.
Another page, darling. We don't want to go right through.
Strap in.
It's already here now, and
Darling, it's too long.
All right.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like going on anymore?
No, I think
You
we've
don't?
got the gist of
You
what
don't?
Yisrael
Let's read the
is.
last paragraph just to see what he's, if he
What is
wraps it
there a
up.
summary?
No summary.
Perhaps Yahusha,
Where's that?
down the bottom. Perhaps
there.
Yahusha.
Perhaps Yahusha, knowing this initiation into the renewed covenant. Yeah. What's he
Just what you
saying?
felt like.
Perhaps Yahusha, knowing this initiation into the renewed covenant, needed to be contrasted with the oral laws method, making it simple for the adult proselytes. That's not confusing, is it?
Renewed.
Oh, it's like we're all dumb and we can't understand.
Yeah.
But because he hasn't got the spirit,
I thought you didn't have any more to say about it.
I haven't got any more to say. So,
He certainly had the authority to establish the immersion as the outward sign. The former outward sign, which was physical circumcision, concerned the land promised to the offspring of Abraham. It never involved eternal life. Showdown won't like that. Oh dear. In the renewed covenant, the hands of men have nothing to do with it. It's the work of Messiah Yahusha who circumcises our inward parts. He already did all the bleeding that will ever be necessary, so we trust in his work, not ours. Yahusha's getting a mention. Don't
I've
faint.
got to bring him in after all the other stuff.
Yeah, to keep the Christians happy. He will regather all of Yisrael. It is him, not us, joining the two sticks. The two sticks are already joined. In his one stick in his hand. We can only cooperate in what he is doing. Some want to use their arm of flesh to return to the land of Yisrael prematurely, but Yahusha is in his people even now, living in his temple. Oh, okay. Wherever they may be. But you've got to be Yisrael. You've got to do the commandments before you can live, you can live in your temple.
Just read on.
We, Yisrael, have a mission to the nations where we are for now. We can do nothing without him, and if we go against what he is doing, we'll try to do what we think needs to be done, we will not succeed. Physical circumcision of adult males is sometimes taught by various messianic teachers. We differ on this teaching, but don't consider this topic to be a threat to one's salvation. Reading Acts 15 should clear it up. If you need more study on this issue, please read the article at that right there, here, there. We are the workmanship of Yahuah, and even though
Yahuah's back.
Yeah, Yahuah's back. We are the workmanship of Yahuah, and even though a convert may not be physically made to bleed, Yahusha has circumcised the heart of that convert. It's very complicated.
Back to Yahusha now.
It's very complicated dialogue.
Yeah.
The unmerited loving kindness of Alahim in giving us our faith belief saves us. It's not
It's Yahuah, Alahim.
It's not real deliverance though.
Not Yahusha, Alahim.
Not the works of hands of men. Not our blood, but the blood of Messiah has covered us. A brit or cut or covenant is the Hebrew word for what we do when we enter the waters of immersion. Oh, okay. Calling on the name of Yahusha for our salvation.
Back to Yahusha.
Our immersion is our circumcision, but it is done on our heart by the Mashiach. Newborn males, our Yisraelite children, are to be physically circumcised on the 8th day from their birth. Well, of course, because we've got to go back to
It's not required.
It is not required for the adult males who convert, though. When the circumcision that is performed on your heart by the Messiah of Israel isn't good enough for you, and you need the help of the hands of men to perform your flesh, perfect your flesh, you're not judging anything but Scripture and devaluating Yahusha's workmanship. End time ministry builder, take it to the world, and here's my ambassador CD. Shove that up your point. All right?
Right. See.
So you don't want to undermine Yahusha's covenant and Yahusha's sacrifice by circumcising your adult males. It's okay to circumcise your children. That blood is gone. Blood is gone. All blood gone.
It's funny how he says you don't want to basically write off what Yahusha did, but the whole way through until that last little bit, he has written off everything that Yahusha did.
Yeah.
So, why don't you take a leaf out of your own book and listen to what you're preaching?
Well, that's been out for quite a few years.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. 20, 30.
That's what they believe still. They haven't moved.
It doesn't change.
No.
And you look at his behaviour, it hasn't changed. There's no change from someone old to someone. There's no deliverance behaviour. You're a completely different person. We're all nearly completely different people. There's a change.
There is a change.
Look
You
at
had it.
Look at his stuff, and it's just silly sense of humour and silly.
Well, how do you think about the fact we believed all this?
Yeah.
How stupid were we coming out?
Well,
Getting
How
sucked into
stupid
the-
were you?
Yeah, we were so
We were excited,
stupid,
darling.
You believed it for 3 months too.
No, I did not.
You cleared out all your leaven.
No, I did not.
No, they haven't.
You keep stuff under the rug.
Of course I did. I wasn't
Let her
stupid.
have it. You know,
You can have it, darling. You just caught the end trails of it. How mad was that?
how
That's it.
stupid were we?
We were
Yeah.
very
To
stupid.
be this confused and preaching this confusion to other people.
Yeah.
That's
And
why.
how many responses did you get?
This is the reputation that Yahusha has in my kids' minds, in yours too, because we pumped it. Like this is what they think when they think of Yahusha. Not so much Mikey, he's come out a bit, but they all think it's
Yeah, this strict
this strict religious stuff. You know,
doctrine.
you know.
Well, you were full of it,
Full of a lot of things.
but you've been delivered now. You've been delivered now, haven't you? You're free now.
Yeah, that's it.
But you can see.
Oh, thank you, Yahusha.
It gives you eyes to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because I thought of all the brothers and sisters out there, you know,
Yeah.
being preached. You got to bring the Old Testament into your life. It's a death sentence.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just so wicked.
Mm.
And he does not care.
No.
And I would say, obviously, he thinks he's got authority and power.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
to me, there's no authority from Yahusha, because he doesn't bring his people to the place where everyone knows Yahusha.
No.
And he has to become an irrelevant.
Mm.
He's taught them all to bring to this place. No, he looks for things to preach more and more confusion, to keep people down under the 10 Commandments.
Mm.
If you have to go for that extreme, what must you feel like inside?
Yeah.
And what must your breath smell like,
Oh, mate.
being that churned up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love all the old stuff. I love all the old covenant, testament, all of it. But only because I can see, like I read it with Yahusha in my mind. Oh, I didn't know that happened back then. That means Yahusha did this. You know, like I love it because it makes Yahusha, it enhances Yahusha even more. Not the other way around. Like they
Well,
read
he's
it.
doing it the other way around.
Yeah.
Well,
Yahusha has to be seen through the old. No, the old has to be seen through Yahusha.
The other thing is, if you actually have a look at his writing, his book, compared to other books say God,
Yeah.
and he's put it as Yahuah
Yeah.
instead of Alahim.
Yeah.
Well, that just basically says, well,
What's he feeding? Yahuah.
it's all Yahuah.
Yahuah
Well,
only.
it should be Alahim in the majority of cases,
Yeah.
That's true.
not Yahuah, because then people would actually see that Alahim is Yahusha.
That's true.
Yeah, more than half the times in the New Testament, in his New Testament, where it says Yahuwah, it should actually be Alahim. That's what I'm discovering going through.
So you can see that he's just trying to confuse everybody, just so that he can pedal push his books and his CDs and his wares
Glorify his
Self.
self.
himself.
Yeah, lift himself up
Yeah.
by being first and best.
Yep.
And he's trying to hold that throne in his kingdom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not interested in it at all.
No.
But I just wanted to bring this to our eyes and our brothers and sisters' eyes so they can see
Yeah.
the difference.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
don't push something that Yahuwah has put aside. And he fulfilled it all even though they didn't.
Yeah.
And she was cast out.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's come back. She's drawn up all those old doctrines, the mixture, and
Yeah.
she's worshipping Yahuwah,
Yeah.
not who she should be worshipping,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yahusha.
So true.
Do you want to have a say? Because
Oh, it's just wickedness. That's what I see. I mean, it's all packaged nicely and put out, and there's such a push, but the spirit is total wickedness.
I think that's madness reading that
Yeah.
to me. I think that's just
To be
confusing,
teaching people.
lying, madness. He
Yeah,
does not
absolutely.
have the revelation
No.
of Yahusha.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Very, very sad.
Yeah.
And I just want the believers, brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
to know that you can have this mindset and be free.
Yeah.
Because Yahusha sets you at liberty with joy
Yeah.
and love and happiness. It's not dead like this. This
No,
is
this is
dead. Eating the table of the dead.
Yes.
The house of the dead. Dragging it up and he has to push. In his words, it's pushing, and you aren't, and you won't be, and you're not accepted, and you're not written in the book unless you're one of his branches. Oh, please. We ran a mile from that.
Yeah.
So, brothers and sisters, thanks for being with us. We hope this has helped. We hope it opens something up to you. You know, we don't want it. We don't want to live it. We don't accept it. We don't think it's right. We think it's actually evil and wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't
absolutely.
want
Yeah.
it. Brings you into bondage.
Yes.
You want to say anything to the bros and sisters?
No.
Run for
Love
your
you.
lives.
Take it in, guys.
Bye.